Rain fell softly over the city, painting the glass walls of the luxury hotel in streaks of silver. Inside, laughter and music floated to the grand ballroom as chandeliers sparkled like stars. It was a night of the annual Hearts of Gold charity gala, a night of glamour, high society, and whispered deals. But for Lila Morgan, it was a night of dread. She stood in front of the mirror in the restroom, clutching her silver clutch so tightly her knuckles turned white. Her ex-fiancé, Daniel, was in the ballroom with his new fiancée, a model who seemed straight out of a magazine. Lila wasn't supposed to care, but her heart still twisted when she saw them earlier. She had been invited because she still worked for the event's sponsor company. But being there alone, surrounded by curious eyes and fake smiles, made her feel small. Then her phone buzzed. Unknown number. "You're at the gala, right?" "I'm at the bar." Her heart jumped. She had been helping a charity startup run by Ethan Cole, a quiet man who never bragged about his success. She'd only met him twice, never realizing he was the CEO of one of the largest tech firms in the country. He was a widowed single father, known for keeping out of the media spotlight. She hesitated, then typed back, "Lila, yes, but I think I might leave soon." "Ethan, don't. You look like you could use some backup." She blinked in confusion until she stepped out and saw him walking toward her, tall, broad-shouldered, with storm-gray eyes that held both calm and mystery. Ethan Cole looked out of place among the chattering crowd. His black tuxedo fit him perfectly, but it was his presence, quiet, grounded, that drew her in. "Ethan," she breathed. He smiled faintly. "You looked like you needed rescuing." Her lips parted in surprise. "You noticed that through text?" "I have a good eye for people who fake smiles," he said gently. "I used to do it too." Her heart softened, and before she could stop herself, the words tumbled out. "Ethan, can you pretend to be my date?" He paused. "Your date?" She nodded quickly, feeling her cheeks heat up. "Just for tonight. My ex is here. I don't want to look like I'm still broken." For a moment, he said nothing. Then a small, understanding smile appeared on his face. "All right, Miss Morgan. Let's make him regret everything." When they walked into the ballroom together, heads turned. Lila's heart pounded in her chest as Ethan's hand rested gently at her back. He played the role perfectly, leaning in close when people asked how they'd met, laughing softly at her jokes, never once letting her feel alone. Daniel's expression when he saw them was priceless. Shock, then confusion, then jealousy. "Lila," he said, approaching. "Didn't expect to see you here." She smiled sweetly. "I didn't expect to see you so soon after your engagement. Congratulations." Daniel's eyes flicked to Ethan. "And you are—" "Ethan Cole," he said calmly, shaking Daniel's hand. "Lila's date." Daniel paled slightly, realizing who he was. Everyone knew Ethan Cole, the reclusive CEO worth billions, the widower who refused interviews. Lila felt a strange satisfaction bloom in her chest as Daniel stumbled through small talk before retreating with his fiancée. Once he was gone, Lila exhaled shakily. "Thank you. That was perfect." Ethan smiled. "You don't owe me thanks. I enjoyed it." As the night went on, something changed. They danced, not awkwardly, but like they'd known each other for years. She told him about her charity work, her love for art, and how she'd lost faith in love after being betrayed. He told her about his daughter, Sophie, and how he'd promised never to love again after losing his wife. But when he looked at Lila, he felt something stir, a warmth he hadn't felt in years. After the gala ended, they walked out together under the soft drizzle. The city lights shimmered on the wet pavement. "Thank you again," Lila said softly. "You made me feel like I mattered." He looked at her for a long moment. "You do matter, Lila, more than you realize." Their eyes met, and for a heartbeat, the world stood still. But before anything could happen, she smiled sadly. "Good night, Ethan." She turned and walked away, leaving him standing in the rain with his heart pounding like it hadn't in years. 2 weeks passed. Lila returned to her small apartment after work, only to find a little girl sitting on the stairs outside. She had a messy ponytail and the bluest eyes Lila had ever seen. "Hi," the girl said shyly. "Are you Miss Lila?" Lila blinked. "Yes, who are you?" "I'm Sophie," the girl said. "Daddy said you're the lady who made him smile again." Lila froze. "You're Daddy?" "Ethan Cole," came the deep voice from the bottom of the stairs. He stood there holding an umbrella, looking both nervous and hopeful. "I'm sorry for just showing up," he said softly. "Sophie insisted on meeting you. She said she wanted to thank the lady who helped her dad be happy again." Sophie ran up to Lila and hugged her. "Daddy doesn't laugh much, but after you danced with him, he smiled a lot. I like you." Lila's eyes welled with tears. She looked at Ethan, who stepped closer. "I thought pretending to be your date would be a favor," he said quietly. "But I can't stop thinking about that night. About you." Her heart fluttered painfully. "Ethan, you don't have to." "I know," he interrupted gently. "But I want to." He took her hand. "Maybe it's time we both stop pretending." Lila's breath caught. For the first time in years, she felt seen, not as someone broken, but as someone worth loving. She looked down at Sophie, who was beaming up at them. "What do you think, sweetheart?" Sophie giggled. "I think you should be my dad's real date." Lila laughed through her tears as Ethan smiled, his thumb brushing across her knuckles. And as the rain began to fall again, he leaned in and whispered, "Then maybe it's time I fell in love for real."